been a while, so we thought we'd do another creative writing video, but this video comes with exciting news. This series now has a title. We are calling this series, are you ready for this? Impromptu. See, cause like it's perfect because it's like impromptu and we write the stories like on the spot in the moment without much like preparation. And it's got the word prompt in it because it's a creative writing prompt and it just kind of makes sense. It's good. It's good. Oh, and by the way, yeah, we did get a haircut. And if we don't point it out in the video, all of you guys are gonna point it out in the comments. We thought we'd try a different type of writing prompt for this video. Yeah, so what we did is we've asked 5 different friends to send us in a random word and we each have to write a story that uses all of those words. Thanks to our friends, our stories each have to contain the words peaceful, sniff, workaholic, pickup truck, and the name Harry. Thanks guys. If you want to play along at home, pause this video right now and go write your own story. You can send it to us on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, or just in the comment section if you want to. Alright, we've both written our stories. I haven't read hers, she hasn't read mine. Let's see what we've got. I'll go first. It was a peaceful April evening. My best friend Sydney and I were doing what we always do when her parents were away. Chilling in her mom's pickup truck, which took up most of the room in the detached one-car garage it was parked in. Her mom hated it when we hung out in there, but it was the most private place we had to go. If either of us were old enough to actually drive the pickup truck, we'd have tons of private places we could go, but this seemed to be the best option for 2 bored 14-year-olds. On this particular day, our chosen topic of conversation was a light-hearted debate discussing which member of One Direction has had the most successful solo career. I, of course, was on Team Zayn, while Sydney was a firm supporter of Team Harry. Hannah, how could you still say Zayn after hearing Harry's album? I haven't heard Harry's album, I responded. Open the glove compartment, she commanded. We're fixing that. I opened the glove compartment and was greeted by a copy of Harry Styles' album, geniusly titled Harry Styles. I handed it to her and within seconds, Harry's voice was blaring through the speakers of the truck. I rolled down the window, not that that made a difference since we were parked in the garage, and prepared to sign the next hour of my life away to Mr. Styles. Around halfway through the album, I began to smell something odd. I paused the music and turned to Sydney. "What are you doing? This is my favorite song!" she shouted. "Sorry," I said. "Do you smell that?" She stuck out her nose and began to sniff the air. "Smells like gas," she said. "You didn't start the truck, did you?" I asked. "Yeah, why?" "You fucking idiot! You don't start a fucking car and leave it running for several minutes in a closed garage. First of all, it's a truck, not a car, and second of all, how was I supposed to know that?" she replied, rushing to shut the engine off. "Why didn't you tell me before?" "I didn't even notice," I shouted, shaking my head. I climbed out of the truck and made my way to the garage door opener. I pressed the button and waited. Nothing. "The door won't open," I shouted. "Let me try," Sydney yelled back. She came over and attempted to lift the door open manually. It wouldn't budge. "Shit, it must be jammed or something," she said. "Are your parents home yet?" I asked. "Probably not," she replied. "Mom's a workaholic and Dad works second shift." "Okay, then let's call my parents," I suggested. I reached into my back pocket and pulled out my phone. I clicked the lock button to light it up, but the flashing red battery symbol informed me that it had died. "My phone's dead," I said with a sigh. "Where's yours?" She hesitated. "In my room charging," she finally said. I shook my head again. I could taste the carbon monoxide in the air. I looked around, examining our options. There was a tiny window near the ceiling on one side of the garage. After looking around for something to break it, I spotted an old wooden baseball bat leaning up against the opposite wall. Without consulting Sydney, I grabbed the bat and headed for the window. My first several swings were unsuccessful. The lack of fresh air was starting to make me feel faint. Finally, on my 8th or 9th swing, I heard the glass shatter. I used the bat to clear all of the shards away from the window frame. Using a workbench, Cindy and I were able to climb up to the window and out of the garage, our jump down being cushioned by some small bushes. After making sure we were both okay, we headed inside and called Cindy's mom, who wasn't exactly thrilled to hear about the whole ordeal. And that, my friends, is the story of how we almost died, and also the story of why I'm not allowed over at Sydney's house anymore. That was good! Thank you, I thought it was a little different. I can confirm I did not write the same story this time. Thank God, let's hear it. It was around 6 p.m. on a sunny Tuesday afternoon. I was sat hunched over my steering wheel with the sun glaring into my eyes as my somewhat trusty built-in GPS led me through the back roads of some middle-of-nowhere small town that lived up to every stereotype I'd ever heard about small towns in the middle of nowhere. Surely I had to be close. I wiped a bead of sweat from my forehead and continued driving down an empty road surrounded by cornfields on either side. I was suddenly pulled from my thoughts as my car gradually came to a steady halt in the middle of the road. Confused, I looked around until I noticed the arrow on my fuel gauge was pointed directly at the big uppercase E to the left of my dashboard. Did I really just run out of gas? How? How had I been on the road all day without checking my fuel supply? How did I not notice I was running on empty? Great. I knew driving out here was a fucking stupid idea. Recalculating route, my GPS said, seemingly mocking me. Oh, shut up, Harry, I said, flinging open the driver's side door and stepping out onto the pavement. I leaned against my vehicle and closed my eyes. The sun was shining, birds were chirping, and a peaceful summer breeze tousled my short, curly hair. Should I have even bothered coming all this way? I asked out loud. The universe didn't answer me. I opened my eyes and climbed onto the front hood of my car, hoping someone would come along soon who could help me. After 30 minutes, the sun was setting and I was starting to lose hope until I noticed a pair of headlights in the distance. A middle-aged woman in a navy blue pickup truck pulled up beside me and rolled down her window. "Need some help there, son?" she asked in a thick southern accent. I approached her and explained my situation. The woman opened her door and walked around to the bed of her truck. She returned holding a large red gas can, and within moments, she was filling up my car. When she finished, I thanked her and asked how much I owed her for the fuel. Her eyes widened. "Hon, you don't owe me nothing. I'm just trying to help you get to where you're going. Just promise if you're ever in my position, you'll pay it forward." I smiled and nodded. "You're not from around here, are you, son?" the woman asked. She must have noticed all the suitcases in my back seat. I shook my head. "So what brings you here?" "I'm on my way to LA, I said after a slight pause. "Los Angeles?" she asked inquisitively. I nodded again. "Listen, kid," she continued, "I know being a big-time Hollywood movie star sounds like fun, but my brother's a workaholic out there in that business and well, it's a tough gig." "I know," I said. "I'm not an actor. My girlfriend is. Last week she packed up everything and got on a one-way flight to California. She asked me to come with her, and I told her she was crazy. I told her she'd never make it out there. Only after she left did I realize I'd made a huge mistake. I should be out there with her, supporting her, and, well, helping her get to where she's going." The woman smiled and put a hand on my shoulder. "You're a good kid," she said. "I'll let you get on with your adventure." I thanked her again for her help, and she climbed back into her truck. I reclaimed my position at my own steering wheel and began fiddling with my GPS. "Hey, kid!" I heard from behind me. I turned around to see the woman waving at me through her rolled-down window. "Stay safe out there, and when you and your lady are living large, make sure you stop and sniff the flowers every now and then, okay?" "We will," I shouted, smiling and waving back at her. "I promise." I really liked that. It was so wholesome. Thank you. See, unlike our last creative writing video, this really proved that you can take the exact same plot and get two completely different stories out of it. I feel like that went really well. And by the way, if you're interested in reading our stories at your own pace, we are going to be posting both of them on our Tumblr. Oh, and speaking of Tumblr, we have been trying to use our Tumblr more often. We've each recently put up an original poem that we wrote on there, and we want to try to do more, like, creative things on there, so now's a pretty good time to follow us on Tumblr. The link to that will be down south with all of our other social media accounts in case you want to follow us on any of those. We look forward to reading your stories if you decided to play along, and if you'd like to leave some more random words or writing prompts in the comments, please do, because we'd love to make more videos like this, and we're gonna need some writing prompts. And if you do want to see more of these videos, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and you might also subscribe to our second channel, because we think we'll post some of these on there too. Oh, and one more thing, we hate to ask, but if you are subscribed to us, please ding our notification bell. The sub box hasn't really been working lately, and if you really want to see our new videos as soon as they go up, you're gonna want to turn on our post notifications. Alright, that's it. We're done asking for things. Thank you for putting up with us. We really appreciate you watching our videos, and we'll see you soon. Bye!